Hello brave beans, it's GreenCosplay again. In this video I've got another box to be turned into something. About a year ago I made a video where I turned a chocolate box into a book, and now I've got this very old box. My grandmother had some Christmas ribbon in it, and I think they also sold it in here. And immediately when I saw this box, I knew I wanted to do something like a crafting project with it, because it's just an interesting design, you know, because it has this window in it. The size and the window just kind of reminds me of a game console of sorts, maybe Nintendo Switch Lite or something. Can you see that? You know, like this would be the screen and then there would be buttons here. And that's what I'm going to do today. So I am going to make some kind of buttons on both of the sides and then do something fun with the window part. And then in the back some kind of like a bigger design, like a drawing or something. I really went back and forward with the theme for this one, and I ended up choosing Five Nights at Freddy's, and specifically Fnaf Security Breach, because while I was thinking about making this video and making the script, Fnaf Security Breach came out and I saw the very first gameplay videos on YouTube, and I don't know, there's something about the game design and the character design that I really love. There's something about it that they just look interesting to me, and I ended up choosing the daycare attendant for this project. You know, this guy.
Security alert! Security alert! Naughty boy. It's past your bedtime.
I just really like that he has these two-side personalities, and I thought it would be really fun to try to like embrace it in the design. And one of the main reasons, to be honest, why I chose this character is because I really wanted to use this paper. It's like a space star themed. I knew it from the beginning that I would need to think about a theme that I can make out of stuff that I already own, because I wanted to just use crafting supplies that I already have in my cupboards. And I got an idea of, hey, it would be actually really fun to do like split coloring in the console itself, maybe in the front, so I would have both the light side and then the dark side kind of situation in there, with the coloring and the patterns and all that kind of stuff. And lately I have been really into space and stars and sun and moon stuff. I don't know why, but as an aesthetic and a theme, it just kind of spoke to me, and here we are, I guess. I have actually never drawn fan art of Fnaf characters before, so this was a first. And I do consider myself to be a fan of the games, even though I have never played any of them myself. They are way too stressful and scary for me, but I really love watching other people play them. I especially love Markiplier's gameplays of the series, and I remember when the Security Breach came out and Mark started to upload his videos, I was always really eager to him to upload more, because he's so funny, and I don't know, he's just so excited about the game that it just warms my heart. I don't know, it's just, I really love his gameplay. And I really love Five Nights at Freddy's cosplayers. Like, the designs people come up with are just so cool. To be honest, I've never really been that interested in cosplaying anything from Fnaf, but now that Security Breach is here and I've seen the character designs, I kind of want to cosplay so many characters now. The Moondrop guy especially is just so cool. Another one would be maybe Roxanne. She's really cool. Okay, I finished the drawing and it's literally dark outside. I'm really happy that I started, like, that I actually made the first doodle version and the first like line art version yesterday, and all I had to do was to redraw it and color it, but oh my gosh, it took a lot longer than I first thought. So I think I am going to continue this project tomorrow, but I'm pretty happy how it looks. I don't know which side should I show it, because it's always kind of like upside down and not upside down at the same time. So see you tomorrow. Hello, it's the next day. Now that I have the back piece together, I can actually start to focus on the box itself. And I think I'm going to start with the window part. So I'm gonna put this plastic folder on top of it, like glue it on top. So it's going to remain as a window and you can see what's inside the box. I think this is actually the same folder as I used for my book sleeve because there's a piece cut out. Well, at least I found some purpose for this folder and I didn't throw it away. I think I want to put something in between the folder and leave it just loose, so it's gonna be moving around a little bit and it might hopefully make it look a bit more interesting. And I'm going to use just different colored papers to cover the box itself. So I already showed this one. I'm gonna use this in the edges of the box. I think this is going to fit perfectly on the box because if you have played the game or if you have seen a gameplay, when the Moondrop guy is coming to get you, the edges of the screen kind of turn into glitter or stars and, you know, dark. And this paper just reminds me of that. As I said before, or at least I think I did, but in case I didn't, I'm only be using stuff that I already own for this project. And I don't really have that many options to choose from when it comes to the different colored papers that I own. I want to make the front of the box two colored so that it's gonna kind of imitate the split personality situation. I also want to make some kind of pattern in the front, and my grandmother gave me this wrapping paper. It's really beautiful. It's like really shiny golden, and I think this just fits very perfectly on it. So I glued everything on the box and it's looking okay. It's not perfect. Some of the paper just didn't want to stick on the box, and then especially the beautiful paper, the space one with the stars, got really wrinkly, and I hope it's not gonna look like garbage in the end, but fingers crossed. I'm just gonna let everything dry out for a while, and now I can move on to making the buttons and then a keychain. And it's finished. Ta-da! It's very homemade looking. it didn't really turn out the way I first imagined. The biggest problem that I had was the glue again. Flashbacks. But I was able to save it, I think, pretty well. I used the same hack as I did with the Assassin's Creed book. So all I did was to color some masking tape with my metallic markers and then just use that on the edges. The tape is actually the only thing holding the paper on the box. It was really crooked and it was just starting to detach everywhere. The golden edges and then the silver one around the screen. It does make it look a bit more interesting and neat, like there's more detail now. But I really like especially the split front, like you have the bad side and then the good side, and then the buttons and everything is kind of like color coordinated. And I like that the edges are different and it's kind of like a nod to the game or an Easter egg to the game, like hey, you remember in the game when the moondrop is coming to get you, there is some stars in the edges of the screen, and in the edges of the console you got the same thing. The window turned out pretty nicely. The stars are now a bit jammed, but if you actually shake it a little bit, it does move. I don't know if you can see it. It's really difficult to show on camera, at least in this angle. But the stars actually move around and it looks a lot more interesting than just having a window. But I have to say that the bag is my favorite thing about this craft, because I'm so proud of myself that I actually drew this so well. Like, there is always a learning curve when it comes to drawing new characters, and I have never drawn animatronics or robots, even though they're really human-like looking, but I'm actually surprised how this turned out. Like, I'm really happy. It just looks good, in my skill levels at least. The buttons could look a bit better and neater, but they kind of work with the aesthetic. I'm so happy that I happened to have some bells, because the daycare attendant has some bells on his outfit. So that's kind of like a nod to the character's design. This doesn't really look any kind of gaming console, even a made-up one. Like, if you just look at it like this, it doesn't really come to your mind that, yeah, of course, this is a console of some sort. But I don't really mind, it's just another random crafting project in my collections. So it is very homemade looking craft, like it's nothing fancy, but then I do like it. Anyways, thank you so much, superstars, for watching. My name is GreenCosplay and take care.